process, but I place and have material. Hello everyone, so I'm back on the vlogging. As you guys might have seen on my Instagram, I've been traveling a lot, so I didn't film. I was in an art residency in New York right after LA for 2 weeks, and I went to see friends and family in Montreal. And then I just arrived yesterday from Montreal into Comox in British Columbia. This is the house I'll be staying at for the next month or so. It's a beautiful home. I'll show you a bit more later, but it's right by the ocean. We can't see from here. And I wanted to share how I like setting up my studio. Wherever I am, I cleaned everything with soap. If you see like on the floor, how like dirty and gross it is, everything was dusty. So I actually just created my own little sanctuary space. So here it is, finally organized. Made it a bit more cozy in there. Got my meditation mat, I got my little easel, and that will be my main workspace. All my books for research and all my materials ready to paint. There we go. Alright, so quick update today. I think I'm finally ready to paint this image. What this has taught me, my computer issue in the past 2-3 months, is that I cannot use my computer and a reference image that's pre-built to build the Divine Feminine, that is this mirror painting. It has to come from my intuition and from the depths of my soul for it to be authentic and alive. So I've come down to this. So you see how now we can actually see my reflection in a kind of a blurry way. This is gonna be my template to build this painting. By using my own features, my own face, I'm going to be painting my interpretation of the Divine Feminine. And this way making it feel a lot more authentic. And it's going to be very interesting to be painting, you know, self-portrait in an abstract way. And seeing how I can layer things and make an image emerge from the void. This is starting to get interesting because at the base I didn't know what the effect would be, and it's almost like the act of going all in makes that your willpower is aligned to make it happen. So you see when I place myself like right here, the face appears, and keep in mind there's gonna be the mirror frame with 2 candles in front that's gonna glow inside of the mirror. Now we're backlit, but in reality it's gonna be like more like this probably. So you see I put my hand like this in my reflection to do this part here, so that when you're gonna be facing it in the gallery, the only way to make this kind of light part appear is if you would be like this, because the goddess herself is telling us a secret to access this wisdom of formation. It's through silence. I'm gonna make some stars, I'm gonna make some kind of, just so it's a bit more interesting. Right now it's cool because of the reflective nature of it, but I wanted to have a bit more details, even though I like it abstract like this. Alright, so this went a bit more experimental. I think that's probably good in the end. So I'm just trying stuff out with different techniques. Made those kind of eyes. I want it to look like a holograph that's being kind of created as you look. So there's like this very subtle texture, and here I put some liquid. I'm gonna let it dry, see what happens when it dries. So that's what it's looking like for now. It's also a wet spot, so I'll show you what it does when it's dry tomorrow. So this is day 2 for my mirror painting. Cool stuff is emerging, because this was really me trying something completely new and intuitively putting stuff and see how it's going to get revealed. But also it's a new technique for me. I've never painted like this. So I'm trying to create this kind of texture, almost like the hologram, that is like a bunch of lines that are intersecting together and creating this kind of shape that is emerging in 3D, and the concept is evolving as if like there's this kind of center that's giving the energy to the void, which is a concept I have not grasped fully yet. But also the secret of this painting is right here, because if you look at yourself, depending on the lighting situation, your face from a certain distance is like will fit perfectly in this, and your eyes are blocked by these corners but merging in with the eyes of the cosmic mother. So you're actually learning through this reflection to see with your third eye. So today I'm going back to meet Adam, and we're gonna be buying the materials for this Vesca Pisces piece, and so I'm just taking my dad's motorcycle and meeting him there to choose the wood. So just here at this plywood place, I want to show you what we found. This beautiful panel of look at the grain and texture. Look at this. So this will become the front panel, walnut. Beautiful, symmetrical texture. Just got to the farm. Metal frame is waiting after a few months of absence. And we're gonna be cutting out our prototype and testing some stuff out. Wood shop is in here. Also, we're supposed to get the 3D printer today, so that's gonna be exciting to unpack and test out. Here comes Adam with the plywood piece on the roof. Who's there? Oh, June, you're helping us today? So we're gonna have a lot of leftovers. So the idea is to, I guess it's gonna come like almost on the edge. Yeah. And then there's gonna be the thin metal you just bought. So now we're gonna do little notches to try and pull it, because it's not completely. Almost. Today I got some new ingredients for my painting. I bought these little sparkles. They're actually pieces of silver. I started trying to make these stars as dots, but they don't give the look I'm looking for. It's gonna be more interesting if the stars actually reflect light. So I've just worked on the eyes a little bit to make them even more kind of enigmatic and piercing. And now I'm gonna be just trying to see how this works out, this little silver. They're like big flakes, I can do different things. I'm thinking to put a bit of this kind of medium here, gel medium, little dots, and then stick these cut out. Oh shit, the wind. So I'm gonna try that. I'll show you guys. So I just put some sparkles or silver on my fingers just to give it a randomness, such as are the stars in the sky. And now I'm gonna just try to glue them with this. Oh, there's even a spider. So I'm sure a few will stick, but that's fine. Like these ones. Let's leave them in. No. So here it is for now. The lighting is not ideal to see it. Gives a good idea. So today is Friday. I'm back at this plywood place. I also just got my 3D printer, so I'm gonna go set this up at the farm with Adam right after this. Look at this beauty. Where should we put it?
We'll lean it up.
Maybe we can put it on the grass first. I'm gonna take a picture of it in the good light. Look at all the details in this beautiful piece. I was just saying, Adam, it looks like this is like condensed energy that's sending signals through time-space. Very cool. We are finishing this other part of the door. There's gonna be another one here. We welded it to the bottom of this frame, and we need to unweld it after, once it's custom sized. And then put the piece of walnut that I just filmed on top for the door. So now unboxing segment. This is my new toy, Creality, whatever that means here. K1 Max model 3D printer. So I'm gonna see what's in the box. Installation grade, sort of blah. Guess that's the top. Oh, hi.
Hi, what's that?
That's like a printer.
It's a very big printer.
Yeah. It's new, brand new.
Oh my god, is it a color one?
It's a 3D printer.
No, does it color like?
No, but like it creates like in 3D. It's not like for paper.
Oh, 3D.
Pretty cool, huh?
For making a movie?
No, for like making little sculptures.
Sculptures? You can actually make toys with that?
Yeah, your dad's gonna be able to invent toys and then print them.
Can we do it now?
No, right now we have to
Can you come
sit
down
in
from the trampoline? When you're done that, whatever?
Yeah.
Okay.
All I have time to do for today, I'll come back to test it out another day. Here are the 2 hoops that are gonna be one here. Go. Oh, there you go. Looking good. So I just want to update you guys what I'm working on today. I've been trying to play with the 3D because this will be printed and molded. So what I did, I have put them in the AI tool. This is just some different 3D models of that same object. And then I've been working on Photoshop just to see, the final product now that I have the plywood, to have an understanding of what it's gonna look like. This is when it's open, and then when it's closed, this would go over top like this, without the doors, of course. And you would see this through it. I want to show you the mirror because I've had some very mystical experiences with it a few days ago. So I was staring in it and I could see how this silhouette here was kind of shifting. It was almost like a trance state, and I could see all the different versions of myself from past life, and how this mirror, which represents the Anima, and basically what it was showing me is that through this reflection, through this mirror, I was gaining access to the same mysteries I had access in past lives. I knew that I was starting almost where I had left off, which is an integrated part within myself, where my conscious and unconscious mind can flow and communicate with each other. And interestingly, you see this is my palette that I had left off. The vision was showing me how this is kind of like an island with the volcano on top, this red dot. And the volcano is basically what emerges from the ocean and creates the continents, which is what we're kind of accustomed to in this day and age, is like physical matter, islands, earth. And we forgot about the ocean, which is the metaphor for consciousness itself. So we've been studying all the scientific experiments to try and understand our physical world without knowing the most important ingredient, which is consciousness. And it changes everything, because now we know that observing anything changes it. The scientist himself alters the experiment just by observing it. And this is what she represents. She represents the consciousness variable that we've been disconnected from. The ocean of consciousness with God on top. If this is my anima, this is me, the animus, the creator, that creates the dream. And because I create the dream, I can experiment a relationship with it. So you create your own world, and then you live in it. And you see how this dream that was once in your imagination, once manifested, how it works. Does it need improvement? Is it lacking something? Then you improve it, and it improves the dream, the collective consciousness. So this is what she's been showing me, amongst a lot of other things that I might share in future vlogs, but I think that's enough for today. So I'm back at the farm. This is a 3D printed object that I'm trying out today. It's gonna be the handle that goes on the door of this frame here. So I just sent it to the 3D printer. It's about to start. So the curator and the curator's assistant just came here to see the pieces for the show. So I've set up the living room into an exposition room to show them all the work that they've seen in photos. This one here. And then I just framed for the first time the mirror painting in her. It's a bit backlit, but gives a good idea. I also put out my studies to show them. I had never shown those. There's our studies for the Vision of Ecstasy painting. This one, testing out the gold. So these will be for the show, framed, hopefully, in time. The show is next January, so it's gonna come very quickly. Here are some of the details of this one. There you go. So I just set up this little workstation outdoors. I'll be working on this little statue here, 3D printed. I'm gonna sand it just because there are some kind of rough edges and I want to smoothen out. And then I'm gonna be painting it, and I want to put little stars on it like monochromatic. I would love to have those rendered and printed, but life size or bigger than life size, and have those kind of entities like actually in the galleries, maybe in the corners, in the dark, kind of like not lit up. So the layer 1 is now applied in every crevice. So part 2, second layer. I really like the effect. It's kind of becoming more almost purple than blue, which I kind of like. I might or might not put a third layer, or I might just put the stars and then see. So here it is after the first layer of stars. So long process, but I'm done. So I didn't film it, but you can barely see them. I put some tone on tone stars too, so there is some like blue stars on the blue black background. You can see it a little bit. And I added this gold, I guess, cobra and the shoes. So I just put the character in front of this, and it seems to have revealed some sort of secret about, because this is based off the Temple of Osirion, so it's a real temple that I mapped out to learn about its sacred geometry and its function. And it really seems like when you would get initiated in this temple, you would get reborn through the water, and this is what you would be reborn as, which is the dissolution of the ego. So you're now connected with the cosmos, the cosmic energy. Your third eye is open to guide you in this 3D reality as a kind of a physical antenna for these cosmic energies. And the same thing with this dot here, because it's supposed to be a mirror that's reflecting light back at you. So in a way, the light that you see as you're watching this painting, instead of seeing your physical reflection, you just see this gold light, which is the same light that animates our Kundalini energy coming through our third eye, this golden energy. So this is all, it's all connecting together. Today I've decided to do a little ceremony with my art. That's how I gain the deepest insights, or let's just say that's how they get integrated within me. So I just create this little symbolic space, and somehow the bedrooms always tend to become part of the artwork. They are the in-between. The bedroom is where you awake from sleep and where you go to this unconscious realm at night. So they are the in-between realms, which is often what my artworks tend to become as well. Artworks about the in-between. So this is my little setup for now. I'm going to be meditating in the center here, and the central sun, central rose, and I put myself in the right headspace to receive. I had to stop and document this because I feel like these two candles right now are sort of activating her soul, or giving a life to this mirror being that is within all of us. The latent faculties within all of humans is this reflective Kundalini nature that through fire, which is representing will, but also vitality, we can activate. It's pretty cool to see her alive with the fire reflecting. I just find it so beautiful that as I activate her for the first time, she's actually mirroring this beautiful ocean that's almost the same color as her. You see her from across the room, same blue. Isn't that beautiful? Lighting those candles also creates something very special because it brings back almost the memories. This is a 19th century French frame, and this would have been used to actually light up real homes for people's lives to be clearer at night. Because back then we would live with silence and the night in a very different way. And it's as if, as I'm activating it, it's bringing to mind this ancient time that this frame was built for. The relationship to silence was very different. The relationship to darkness was very different as well. I think that's just so beautiful. So I've just finished processing this whole experience. Wanted to try this, to see this lit up. Oh, you see when I pass in front, my face appears. Whoa, it's kind of trippy. I love how the shadows are creating this cool textures on the wall. But yeah, this my whole project is still down there. It'll be hard to see, but I've had so much insights into the meaning of this artwork is a lot deeper than I thought. What was shown to me is that a big part of the problem is that humanity is secretly grieving the lack of transition between the spiritual dimensions and the physical ones. And this temple here, it's a place of rebirth and of birth. So you would symbolically be born into the waters under the earth in this temple, and it would be a smoother transition from the spiritual realms into the physical ones. And the idea behind that is that you don't disconnect from this spiritual world, you transition from it and bring it into the material world. While now, if you're born into this very rational, dry, material place, and you have material doctors that, you know, are very head-centric. Of course, there's some empathy if you work in the health, but what I mean is there's not this spiritual understanding of the transition of the souls entering this avatar, this physical body. And this creates a very deep emotional wound for everyone that enters this world and doesn't have access to this spiritual dimension. And so you come here grieving, but you have no way to understand this deep grieving. And this project is a remembrance, a place where we can collectively re-enter the central mound and grieve this pain of separation, which in return brings a lot of understanding and remembrance also of who you are. And that's what happened to me, this deep remembrance of my past life, where I had a very tragic and harsh birth that became my life story. And this lifetime is dedicated to creating these spaces through art for people to remember, a safe space to feel this deep pain we're collectively carrying. These mysteries are still unfolding within me, but it was so clear and so beautiful to experience. But also I cried a lot because I felt the pain like deep, deep, deep in my heart, like gasping for air, like type of crying. So I'm excited to bring this to you guys and to see how it resonates and how it can have an impact as well. Something has just come up. When I was in Portugal a few years ago, I was motorcycling, just exploring like a mountain. I found a little trail on top of the mountain and led down in a kind of a little valley. And then on my left side, I saw this abandoned building. So I decided to go in, but I found this abandoned building with like shoes from, it looked like handmade shoes from like the 50s or maybe before. So I entered the rubbles, there's like junk everywhere, broken chairs. But then on the wall, there is this framed picture that's still hanging on the wall, after, even in the rubble. And I now have it protected, but I'll show you in my computer after. There was a a kind of a poster that was framed of a Madonna, Virgin Mary. There's another part I'll show you in my computer. And then it became obvious that I wanted to make an art piece with this. I didn't know what. So I put it in in a little folder I had on my motorcycle. And then I have it, and I want to create this kind of aluminum panel and somehow stick. So, and I was just putting these two together. It's like the cosmic mother that she represents. And she's kind of been forgotten. It feels like in a way we've kind of just focused on her shape and forgot the essence of what she represents, and putting it on this starry background, almost like she's in the sky. She is this invisible space looking down. Just kind of brought tears to my eyes just earlier. So yeah, I'm excited to try this. So quick update, I just went to the metal shop, and this guy had this old used like piece of rusted metal and this one, and I'm gonna use those for the Madonna and Child image I had. I want to do something cool with it. I really love the texture and the age feel of it, all the edges, and it's kind of like the image as well is also torn. I think it's gonna create something very beautiful, so I'm gonna be recutting it so it's symmetrical. This is another piece just to do tests, and I bought these sheets of metal, aluminum, that I will be gluing my canvas on for support. And now we're finishing the frame here so that we can post the panels on there after. So you can't see very well, but I'm trying to make a mock-up for this. That's there. So today, following that rebirth experience I had last time, I looked at my chart, because I basically, in a sort of mystical vision, had a rebirth with a new birth time, and this is the chart, and it was connected to this guy here, which is basically the archetype of this embodiment that I'm trying to attract with this chart. And then this pillar becomes my spine, the Kundalini energy, and I've recreated this in my little book here. These are the 7 chakras. So I had insights about merging the 7 and the 12. The 7 being the divine feminine, the 12 being the divine masculine. But the 12 also represents the 12 houses in the zodiac, the 12 zodiac signs as well. And they each are a different part of the body. So what I'm doing now is I'm finding my new chart, all the correspondences and the different gems, and I'm going to be recreating these chakras as well. So this is the chakra systems. Each of them is also a different planet, and the planet, of course, is a different gem. So for example, in my new chart, I have Mercury in the 11th house in Cancer. So then Mercury in the chakras is Svadhisthana, so the second one. And it's connected with emerald or the green jade. So I just bought a green jade. And it's the second chakra, so it'll be like around here. And in my personal new chart, Mercury being in Cancer in the 11th house. It's in the chest area. That's what it rules. The 4th house rules the chest area. So on here, on this little guy, there'll be like a little bead carved in of this green jade, which represents Mercury. I'm waiting for all my beads to arrive. So I hope that was clear enough, but I'll show you once I make it. So as you saw earlier, I'm making this kind of altarpiece for the Virgin Mary, inspired by a Gothic cathedral made of this kind of rusted metal, but that's going to be polished in some parts, creating this cool effect. And see this painting, it's all about how the astral light comes from the moon, the unconscious, through your third eye into the house. This here, the gate becomes like the heart, and from the heart is poured down astral water through emotions that create an effect in the physical world. So I want to put this piece. I just bought this raw silk. So I'm gonna paint stars on here. It's gonna be pretty high in the gallery. So as if the stars, the moon, all this kind of cosmic energy is pouring down. And then here there will be the altarpiece, but it's gonna be higher because you saw in the painting there's like 6 steps to go in, and the 6 steps represents, if you know Kabbalah, the 6 is the heart. So there's gonna be 6 steps, and it's gonna look like a waterfall coming from the sky. So today I'm trying to do this sculpture again. I've just did a trial on the other side. I'm gonna show you after, but for now I put this so I can jump on it and try to bend it so it has a nice curve to be, you know, able to stand on its own. So I'm gonna try to bend it. All right, so here it is. Time to paint this pillar today with my little matcha. Gonna create the body the same color and pattern just because it's gonna go together. So here they both are the 7-pointed star jacket that goes with the 12-pointed star pillar, and then this is gonna go like this. So the 7 and the 12 unite, the masculine and the feminine. And I think I'm gonna paint, so see, underneath is like the gold conductor that lights the third eye. So I think I want to paint actually the top here gold, and maybe the bottom too. So it'll feel like there's actual, like, you know, the middle pillar, which is the golden light that runs through us, the golden light of the soul, of the sun. So I think I'm gonna end this video, this week's video, with this, and I'm still waiting to know if I'm going to Paris in September for this 10 months art residency. So in the next video you'll probably know that. I'll be finishing this pillar. Then there's the Vesica Pisces frame that's gonna be done. Just had the idea of having it sand, what is it called, sand painting. It's basically they use electricity and a certain colored powder to paint metal. So I'm gonna, it creates more resistant paint, so the longevity of the paint will be longer on the frame. You can't scratch it and stuff. So I'll be doing this very soon too. And what else? Yeah, the big drape that I showed it earlier in this video too. This I'm gonna work more on it to see, maybe build the stairs and stuff, but that's gonna be all in the next video. So I'm very excited this project is getting along together, and now I finally have confirmation that I'll be able to show it here in the Comox Valley, British Columbia. The show begins the 24th of January, and yeah, the curator is I'm very happy to have found her. She takes it very seriously, because I do think, you know, art is a way of expressing ourselves, but it's also, if you take it seriously, the art will take you seriously, and then the relationship can start building with your anima. So, and she does value the message behind the work and wants to make sure that, you know, everything is aligned with the audience as well, and the kind of initiations I want to perform in the gallery as well. So yeah, I'm very excited for that to come. Thanks for watching, guys, and comment below what you thought of the video, what could be improved, what you want to see more of or less of. And yeah, see you in the next time.